Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for all the words of support and advice and encouragement that you sent me following my first video. So for the second video, I thought I would answer a couple of questions that came through me through private messages and my blog, and that maybe are too short to warrant an entire post, but that people have asked me. So I thought I'd just put them together in one post and fire away. So the first question that one of my friends asked me is, how do you name your children? How do you find names for your children? So that's a bit challenging because I like to make things complicated. So our children are Clara, Colin, Eloise, Marie, David, Sarah, Lucas, Eve, and Damien. Oh gosh, I remember them all most days. And so because I'm French, if you haven't noticed, my heavy accent is a French accent. So because I'm French and my family's French, we want names that we can say that work in English and in French. My husband's family is English. So we want names that work in English and French with the same spelling. So you know, for instance, Matthew and Mathieu are two versions of the same name. They don't spell the same. We can't have that. But Thomas and Thomas, they spell the same. They pronounce differently, but they exist in both languages and they spell with the same spelling. Same thing with Paul, you know, exists. So there's a whole bunch of names like that that exist in both languages with the same spelling. So that's the first challenge I set for myself. And then we like more classical names, like I don't like invented names and invented spellings. So basically the way it happens is that when I'm pregnant, as soon as I get pregnant, that's the added challenge, I get a very strong sense of my baby's sex and my baby's name. Like it just comes at me, boom, as soon as I know I'm pregnant, I'm like, oh, this is David, right? Like, and I know, right? I was only wrong once with Damien, which I was sure was a girl, and then it turned out to be a boy. But basically, the way it works is that I tell my husband how I would like to call the baby, and then my husband says yes or no. And usually, if he says no, I just wait until I've actually pushed a baby out, and then he's more accommodating. So that's basically how it works. I tell my husband the name, and he gets to veto it. Sometimes, like I know that on his short list for many years was Sarah. And so when I got pregnant with Sarah, at first I'm like, okay, this has to be Sarah, right? It's his turn. So this is how we choose our children. How did you resist the temptation to buy 2 dishwashers and 2 laundry machines when you were building the house? Okay. Confession time. We designed our house from scratch. And let me tell you, when you have 9 kids and you design your house and you have the privilege to design your house from scratch, you put 2 dishwashers and then you design the house around that, right? So we have 2 dishwashers. That was the first thing that went in the kitchen were 2 dishwashers. We also have 2 laundry machines because basically the way we designed our house is it's a bungalow, so everything's on the same floor, and then the basement is a walkout basement. And the way the basement is designed is to be able to be easily turned into another house should ever, you know, we have a family moving in with us, right? So if we ever need to have a child with spouse and kids move back in, or parents, although I'm not sure our house is our parents' idea of a peaceful retirement, but who knows, right? So if we had to turn our basement into another home, we could do it. So our family room is right under the kitchen, and so if we ever had to run the plumbing downstairs to create another kitchen, we'd be able to do that. It has 3 bedrooms with bathrooms, and we also have a laundry room down there. So that's where my teenagers do all their laundry, and I never see it, and I never want to see it, and I'm fine with that. Third question is, how do you look so young without makeup? I had that question a few times on my YouTube video, and I have to say thank you so much for the love. It means a lot, seriously. I've had a tough year health-wise, so the compliment on my physical appearance are very appreciated. It's been a tough year for self-image. Let me just put it this way. basically it's good genes. I don't have anything to say. My mother also looks younger than her age. I got ID'd at the booth store until I was 33. And I had 5 kids. It was just like, I was always making a happy dance when they ID'd me, and they were like, oh my gosh, like, how long haven't you been 19? And I was like, 12 years, woohoo! And so basically, good genes. And when I was 16 and all my friends were in Quebec, all my friends went out drinking, I was the only one who couldn't go because there's no way I could pass as 18 when I was 16. I mean, I didn't pass as 18 when I was 30. So, good genes. It really annoyed me when I was a teenager. Now that I'm 42, I love it. Question 4. Does the noise of having many kids ever drive you insane? Oh my goodness. Every day. Every day. And I think the biggest motivator that my husband and I have to improve our parenting game is the noise. Like it drives us completely insane. And for a long time I thought it was because I was an auditory learner and the noise bothered my ears. But it's actually the opposite. When I started homeschooling and started learning about learning styles, I'm a visual learner. So when and I'm also temperamentally, I'm an introvert, I'm a phlegmatic, if you know your classical temperaments. And so a lot of noise just overwhelms me very easily. And then I can't think. My brain just goes, you know, if you can imagine like a wrench in the machine, like that's what happens to my brain when there's a lot of noise. My husband is the same. So yeah, the noise drives us nuts every day. Our saving grace is that, for goodness gracious, we've been doing this for 20 years, right? Our oldest is almost 20, so we've grown a lot of tolerance that is absolutely acquired. It's not a tolerance that came naturally, but it's like hockey or violin. Do it every day for 20 years, you'll get better at it. So that's what happens. But noise drives us nuts every single day. Oh, and on an added, like our 4 oldest children, and that's, you know, I don't know, providence or happenstance, our 4 oldest children were relatively quiet kids, which maybe was false advertising on God's part, because we're like, hey, we can have 5 more, and our 5 youngest kids are so loud. It's incredible. So, you know, we just learn. Every day we learn from our kids. So, thank you so much for listening. Next video will be on getting out of the house relatively on time without killing everyone. So be there and subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for listening.